Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
Shut up!
We're gonna get you. Not another peep. Kinda
Get rid of your distractions and prepare yourself.
Fold and lock your door. 5, 6, gonna cruise up this.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
All right, welcome everybody to the Cult Classic Horror Show. I'm one of your hosts, Danny Bonin.
Scotty Bonin here, guys. Back with you.
We are the Blood Brothers.
The Blood Brothers.
We didn't quite hit that cue.
All right, ready? We are
The
Blood Brothers.
We also have Rob back on the show. Rob, what's up, man?
Rob Oneal.
I'm back. I feel good.
Rob's back in action.
Primed up, pants are off.
Oh,
Ready
yeah.
to do this.
Pants off, ready to go.
Always got to have the pants off.
Cock sock is on.
Pants off, cock sock on.
Yeah, mine's like a cock mitten. I'm not even gonna try to lie about it.
Cock mitten. Is it like like a doll mitten?
I shop at the kids section.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
For your cock socks.
Mittens. Get it right. Cock mittens.
Cock mittens. All right. We've got it right. You know, the first time, I guess the Red Hot Chili Peppers used to wear cock socks on stage. It's cock socks, right?
Yeah.
And it was the first concert I ever went to, and I'm not saying I'm disappointed, but they just had whitey tighties on and no cock socks. So, but my parents were there.
They're getting old, guys. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was back when I was like, I don't even remember, 13
Like
years old or something.
12, 13.
12.
I thought it was Rammstein that had the cock socks.
They might have too. I think it was a thing for a while.
It might have been Rammstein being all European and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loosey goosey up there, bunch of German fornicators.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy probably had a huge cock.
Oh, yeah.
That's how he got those good metal growls.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is getting kind of creepy, which moves us on to what we're going to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Creepy, get it?
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about Creepshow.
We need to get y'all a soundboard, so every time we get a good pun, we can play the waka waka waka.
Yeah.
Waka.
I guess I could add those in later.
Walk, 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 walk. We don't need a soundboard. You have me here.
That's true.
Scotty.
Subpar.
His talents know no bounds.
No, they
No
don't.
bounds at all.
The soundboard man. So, yeah, I told everyone last episode that we were going to do Day of the Dead next, but then I was looking and I figured we should probably do Creepshow just because it's a cult classic.
It's a cult classic, and we had to get it done with. We
Yeah.
had to just do this before anything else.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I can understand it because, like I said, I'm not trying to put words in your mouths or anything else, but I watched the Crazies and Martin, and you guys needed a break because I like George Romero, I really do, but I tried to watch those back to back, and it was rough.
Yeah.
Well, Danny said he's never seen Creepshow, but I, in my opinion, because I follow along closely with what you guys do, Creepshow was like a nice vacation for me. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, there's
Yeah.
a budget, the sound's gonna work, there's gonna be lighting.
Oh my god, dude! I know. I hear what you're stepping in right now. I smell what you're stepping in. Crazies and Martin was like.
I mean, they have their place, and I'm going to put Crazies in a slightly worse category because I was really like, what the fuck's going on, and falling asleep. But, I mean, I can see why it's a classic. I appreciate every movie. I like to say that there's only been maybe one or two movies in my life where I'm like, I will just wipe my ass with that. Like, I appreciate every movie that I watch, But yeah, Crazies was a little tough to get through. And then Martin was a little bit better, but not like a whole lot. And so yeah, Creepshow definitely took a leap and a bound as far as
big time vacation.
As far as watchability and technical.
I think it probably was a vacation or kind of a break for Romero.
Yeah.
Because this is 1982.
Yep.
Yes.
So it's a 34-year-old movie, which makes me feel really old. But I'm the same age as you guys, but it still makes me feel old.
Yeah. Gosh.
But you know, I mean, he didn't have to worry about writing.
Yeah.
I mean, he really just got to direct, and I think he has the opposite kind of curse. Like Zack Snyder's not as good a storyteller. Romero is a fantastic storyteller.
Yeah.
And if he could just direct and direct the story and not worry about everything else, I think the quality is much better, because this was awesome.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been near as good if it wasn't Romero.
Yeah.
That's true.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and I admit I had never seen Creepshow before, surprisingly. So, but it obviously the whole setup was popular. Well, I think it was new at the time, or newer. You know, the whole multiple stories within a movie. The first time I remember seeing that was obviously when they had like the Tales of the Crypt, Demon Knight, and Tales from the Hood movie.
Yeah, Tales from the Hood, Tales from the Crypt.
Oh yeah,
all the classics.
And these really set off a big chain reaction, because there was Creepshow, there was Creepshow 2, then there was Tales from the Dark Side, and then Tales from the Dark Side ended up spinning off into a TV show, which basically led to Tales of the Crypt.
Yeah,
going
that's right.
on to HBO. So I mean, yeah, this was like one of its kind for a good budget movie. I think it was like $8 million.
Yeah,
but it made $22 million.
Yeah, I have written $8 million budget, $5.8 million it made in opening weekend. Close to 21 something 20,000 gross total, and it even beat out First Blood in the when it was released in theaters as number 1.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
See, when they have more of a budget to work with, and like compared to the Crazies and Martin, this, you could see how much better this was. And of course, you know, we have Leslie Nielsen and Ted Danson and Ed Harris, and you know,
it's got a stellar cast. It really does.
Yeah, Howell, Holbrook.
Oh yeah. Oh god. But I think it kind of goes back, because I was listening to the show, and you guys are like my Encyclopedia Britannica when it comes to horror. But he's like the opposite of Kubrick, isn't he? Like, he basically just like rolls the cameras and just takes basically just takes what he gets, and okay, we'll cut and chop that in the edit room, because I think he's really preoccupied with trying to tell the story. But I think in this case, Stephen King, you know, I'm pretty sure Romero was like, nah, Steve's got this.
Yeah.
So he really just got to, because the camera angles, and it was the whole, besides the very last one, the cockroach one.
Yeah.
He did such a good job of just being dreadful. Like, you felt the dread, and the air was heavy. I mean, he really did a great job.
Yeah. And I think that was, he didn't have everything on his plate. You know, he was just directing, and I'm sure he did some other stuff too.
He did some editing too, but he didn't have to worry so much about the storyline or writing. You know, when you had the man Stephen King writing the screenplay, and they even used, he had already written the Crate story, then he wrote the others for the show. I mean, mainly this was the first one that he wrote for this movie, and then I think they might have collaborated on a couple of them too. But yeah, he did.
I wish they'd do more of these, because there's been so many Romero short stories and Clive Barker short stories and King short stories that they tried to fill 2 hours or an hour and a half with, and it didn't work.
Well,
this was fun.
And I remember that Night Shift collection that King did, that was a bunch of short stories too. Do you remember that one at all?
Oh yeah, those were good.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, it's taking me back to those days. And, you know, they tried to replicate it a little bit with, like, the VHS movies, you know?
Yeah, they did. And I thought at least the first VHS was good. It was fun. And you got like a taste of everything. you know. But I think the only I listened to another podcast. I didn't cheat on you guys, but
oh shit, you cheated on us, man!
You bastard!
I listened to another one. And there's so many people out there that are down on this movie because they're kind of, well, it's goofy, man. It's goofy, and it's like, well, you can only write so much Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Martin, all these other things, and then with Stephen King, you know, and by '82 he had already wrote The Stand, and he had already wrote Carrie. These guys were having fun. Tom Savini, all these guys were having fun, and I think it reflected when I watched it. I was like, I could see them saying cut and everybody busting up laughing.
Yeah. Because all the legends and greats are working together here, you know.
Oh, I was
awesome.
I was holding back a laugh the whole first one. My cake, where's my cake?
Yeah.
Where's my cake, Bedelia?
Where's my cake, Bedelia?
But I have to admit, going back real quick, how I mentioned they took it back with VHS. I am a fan of VHS. A lot of people are like, "Oh, found footage and all this shit is no place." And even our blogger on the Cult Classic Horror site has a little beef with some found footage films, but I sort of like them.
Well, I think if you write a story, okay, like if all three of us got together and wrote a story, and we all sat down and we agreed it's going to be a found footage movie, you can do that really well.
Yeah.
But if you use found footage as an excuse to wiggle a crappy story into some little fine subgenre category, then no, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
But if the story's good, the story's good. I liked VHS. I liked the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked all those movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some that aren't the best. But I think
that goes with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes with everything. You're right.
But I think a few of them lately have. I just told Scotty he has to watch As Above, So Below. Have you seen that flick?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I loved it, man.
And then
I was
the Gallows.
creeped out. Oh, I just saw the Gallows. Yeah.
Well, and I think
I need to watch
nowadays
that one,
found footage is fun nowadays because everybody has basically a high def camera on their phone.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes it kind of fun to do them and stuff. But
makes it more real, like kind of real. It's kind of hard to watch at times when the camera's shaking.
As long as you're not getting dizzy.
Almost gives you like a headache, but it makes it more real. Like there's someone like just like a person like you or me filming all this horror and horrible stuff. You know, it's freaking makes it more real.
Yeah,
well, to me nowadays it's almost a natural reaction. Like if, for granted, all three of us are hanging out or doing something crazy starts happening. Whether we know it's a good thing or a bad thing, you automatically reach for your phone.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I gotta get this. I gotta, hold the steering wheel.
I gotta hold my beer.
This video. I gotta snap this. This has got to go on my Snapchat story.
That's what my wife would be doing. Crazy about Snap.
I love my Snapchat. Which, by the way, Danny still has not snapped me back. It's been like a month.
Dude, did you snap? Are we friends?
I'd hope we're friends.
I don't think we're friends.
I think we are.
I have not noticed you on Snapchat.
Oh, no, me and Scotty are. Scotty snapped me back because Scotty's considerate.
Yes,
all right.
I snapped you back.
I'll snap you back. I thought that was just for between you and girls.
No, that's for everyone.
Can guys use Snapchat between each other?
Oh yeah, I mean, you could take dick pics and they don't save to your phone. It's perfect.
Oh, I
yeah,
know.
it just
Snapchat was basically created for sexting or sex videoing. That's basically all it's for.
There's a lot of that on there, new, like quick snaps of like boobs and bushes and all that.
Well, it's the only way you can get your wife to sext with you or video whatever with you, since it's video, it's not texting. Because otherwise she's like, I know you're saving those pictures.
Yeah, but the best part about Snap, if it's coming, you can screenshot that sucker.
That's
yes,
true.
You can. Yes, you can.
But the worst part about Snapchat is, too, if you do it, it tells that person a screenshot taken.
So,
yeah, I mean,
wow.
It does. It'll send them a message saying your Snap got screenshotted.
I didn't know that.
All right,
But anyways, what was, I know we're going to, I don't know if y'all want to do it in chronological order, but
yeah, let's walk through these stories.
What was your guys' personal favorite out of the stories?
God, it's tough. You know what? I think I did like the Tide. The Tide of Leslie Nielsen
and I think I sort of
Ted
like.
Danson.
I think I sort of like the Crate one the best.
Yeah, the Crate one was cool too.
But I mean, we could start off with, of course, the "I Want My Cake" Bedelia and Ed Harris doing the best, worst white guy
dance
ever. And I never would have thought I'd see young Ed Harris in like skin tight jeans, cowboy boots, and a belt buckle dancing. So I guess that's like new wave disco.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that was.
And and that girl is like a dancing fiend. Who the hell just dances by themselves? It seemed like hours on end in the house.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yep, cocaine was there. She was keeping it from everyone else, all to herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ed Harris has almost a full head of hair there.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was almost a double take because I've seen this a lot, but I watched it again and really watched it, and I was like, whoa, Ed Harris. Because I remember from The Rock with Nick Cage and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yep.
Ed Harris, skinny, with hair, dancing, and like chain smoking cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
Lighting his match off the cobblestone and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He must have tried to light that cigarette 4 times, and he struck. You know what I mean? It was like, I think it was just an excuse to get the strike anywhere matches. Like, come on, Ed.
It was.
Yeah.
Strike that sucker anywhere. I don't care.
And what was up with, like, why didn't he just move when that thing crushed his head? You know?
Yeah, he was going so slow, like it was almost like he thought he was tied to it. Like,
yeah.
every time I moved, I'd have been out of that. I mean,
oh, dude, the minute
down, hit you with the ass or the legs, that's fine. But he just sat there.
Yeah, the minute that thing moved slightly, I'd be like, I'm fucking out of here. He's just staring up at it.
Yeah, we only got to see Ed Harris for like the first 10 minutes of the whole entire movie.
Yeah, something like that.
He died. He just hopefully you guys have seen this and know that he dies.
Well, yeah. People know not to listen to a podcast about a show unless they've seen the show.
Yeah, you gotta be smart enough there.
But
we're not ruining it.
Yeah,
I mean this isn't the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah,
but go out and watch it for sure because. Yeah. Even giving away spoilers, it doesn't take away from the early 80s nostalgia of watching Ed Harris get crushed by like a 3-ton headstone.
That's pulled onto him by a very stocky skeleton zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had a lot of meat on his bones.
Yeah, he was stocky.
That was a pretty nice neck twist that he did to that lady.
Yeah.
It broke her neck.
It was like a twist off top.
Yeah. It was.
So if you notice the ashtray that in the flashback that she kills her dad with, that marble ashtray or whatever, it is in every film throughout the rest of the movie, but it's just hard to find in some places. The obvious one I saw it in was the nightstand. For Leslie Nielsen's nightstand during
I did. I didn't notice that. That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's in like all the rest of them. So yeah,
I wonder if that's like Romero's personal ashtray because he smokes like a chimney.
Yeah,
so
he does.
I wouldn't doubt if he just has like a whole car trunk full of marble ashtrays because you never know when you're going to need to smoke and be classy.
Yeah, he brings one everywhere with him.
Yeah,
and it won't float away. It's got some weight to it, so he probably wanted to incorporate it.
Yeah.
In this movie, that's his favorite ashtray.
So obviously, again, they filmed everything in the Pittsburgh area, and this was actually a mansion that they used. I think this was in Jersey, though. The mansion was. So
are you talking about Leslie Nielsen's or the first
no,
one?
the first. We're still talking about the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. However, most of the rest of the set and everything else they built inside of a girls' school, an all-women's school in Pennsylvania. There, so it's crazy.
Romero has the best scouts. They're like the Monroeville Mall.
Yeah.
Some all-girls school auditorium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
exactly, they get the biggest, most public places. George A. Romero.
And before we get further into the episode here, there is a stellar documentary called Just Desserts on the making of Creepshow, which all three of us desperately tried to get somehow today before we recorded, but it's only in the UK at the moment.
So we're all screwed. We're all fucked.
If we have any listeners in the UK,
yeah,
like just burn us a copy and mail it.
Yeah.
Because I still want to watch it.
Oh, I want to watch it too.
So
Contact
interested
yeah.
in seeing Leslie Nielsen, all these people behind the scenes. It's got to be really.
Yeah, Stephen King.
And it is slated for July. Well, they're trying to. There's an Indiegogo account to try and raise the funds to get a American release, a Blu-ray of it, and it's expected to release this July 2016. So I don't know the website. You guys can Google, Just Desserts Indiegogo.
When it comes out. Yeah, no, that.
Yeah.
I looked everywhere to find that.
Yeah, I did too. So we might not get as in depth as that documentary. So I apologize.
So that person in the UK, just send it to Cult Classic Horror on Facebook, or just let us know, and we'll send you a copy too, Rob.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, no, y'all just buy me a plane ticket and fly me up to Colorado.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be perfect.
We can just hang out, watch it together, or y'all can come down to Florida and chill out by the new pool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, we'll bring our cock socks. We'll all just be in the cock socks.
Yeah.
Because we got to be conservative around here.
Yeah, conservative. Don't want to get a tan line. So I don't want to get
not that kind of conservative. All right, well let's go on to the next story, which
I actually like the next story too.
Yeah,
that was my second favorite. I love Verrill, the lonely
Jordy Verrill,
played by Stephen King.
You lunkhead.
You lunkhead.
And I'm
Jordy, you lunkhead.
Obviously, they were going for like an over the top, because not only was Stephen King over the top, so was the doctor / whatever he was playing, the same guy the whole time.
Yeah,
so.
His doctor that he was trying to bring the crater to for money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this was very, it was very comic booky.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very overacted, but a lot of people don't know that's how Stephen King actually talks.
Really.
Big wide-eyed and like farm boy almost.
He had some of the best. I laughed out loud a couple of times at some of his little one-liners that he did.
Yeah.
With where he's like rubbing his back on. Oh Lord, don't it itch?
Yeah.
The hand over the mouth like twice, where he's like, "Ooh," that was awesome.
Chewing on his fingers and stuff.
Yeah. So that just another couple things I gathered from some interviews. That whole first scene that's a matte background, so painted, and obviously the comet was a visual effect. And they said they had to do that. They had to retake that scene where it starts and he's running and then he runs toward it. They had to retake it a bunch of times just because they were like, no, that comet's going to be right over your head, or you're not in the right spot. And so it just took them, a bunch of takes to get it right, which I can just see them bossing Stephen King around trying to get the take right.
I can see him kicking back too a little bit, like, what does it? Jesus Christ! Just tell me where to stand.
Yeah.
Come on. I wrote this damn thing.
But no, I liked it. It was like you said. It was comic booky. It was cartoony, over the top. Even the green. It was so green. It was like It was very colorful and everything. So
I'll be dipped in shit. That's a meteor. That's one of my other favorites.
Yeah. Or when he says, I'm growing, and then he takes his clothes off. Not there.
Not there.
Yeah. Oh God, not there.
Yeah.
I bet this is it was his first role in a film, and so you have to wonder if he's just eating it up. He's done some cameos in his own films since then, but yeah, that was he was probably had a little bit of stage fright going on there.
Yeah.
Well, it was his first role, and then also it was his first time being a strict screenwriter. This was the first full-blown job he had as just a screenwriter. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool. I mean, Romero and Stephen King, and it was one of Stephen King's first acting and first.
Yeah.
I think this was the first time he wrote the screenplay, and the second time he wrote a screenplay was for Maximum Overdrive. So it's pretty cool. It was a couple of firsts.
Which, by the way, is where he was filming when one of the assistants talked to him and got him to get De Laurentiis to fund Evil Dead 2. Woohoo! Sorry, had to throw that
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
that's awesome. Well, there's your Evil Dead tie-in.
Actually, the main Evil Dead tie-in is
is the last one.
during the cockroaches. When it opens up, the song playing on the jukebox is the credit song from Evil Dead 1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Had
to put that in there.
Hey, Stephen King does like that song too. That's that what? That's that like little Glenn Foxtrot thing.
Yeah.
I think it played The Shining, didn't it? Didn't they play that?
There's
in
the
Shining?
similar one in The Shining. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar when you listen to it.
It is very, very, very similar. You said, "Oh, that's from The Shining." I'm like, I think that's Evil Dead.
And I was like, "Oh yeah." I get it mixed up actually. The Shining's the midnight and
Yep, that's it.
Sorry, soundboard.
Yep.
I still stand by it that Steven Weber was a better Jack Torrance than Jack Nicholson.
Don't even
start it. No one will beat Jack Nicholson ever.
No.
We could feud on this for the rest of the episode here.
So,
let's move on to our favorite one. One of my favorites.
So going on to
The Tide.
The Tide. That's not. I forgot the full name. It was like something.
It's like the tide's coming in or something.
It was like to tide me over, or tide you over.
Yeah, that's
or something
what it was.
Like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, this was Ted Danson and Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah,
I can believe that.
Cheers and Naked Gun all in one.
Yeah. Which I guess I didn't fully. I probably realized it at the time, but I totally forgot that Leslie Nielsen died in like 2010.
Yeah, I know. I had to look that up too.
Yeah, I was like, how old? Because he looks old in that in 82.
82. And in Naked Gun, he had to have been like 60s then.
At least, yeah. I mean, he was like 50.
But he pulls it off. It's like I remember watching that. And like, damn it! I kind of wish I was Leslie Nielsen. He's got the white hair. He's got the nice house. He's got like his like LL Bean get up going on, with the shoes and the slacks.
Yeah,
I was like, Leslie Nielsen's boss, man.
Right by the ocean there.
And
he's got it going on.
And I'm not really I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention at the very beginning, but I don't really know why the fuck he was mad at him and why he has the wife and what the hell's going on in the beginning.
Because this is the one story that I feel bad for the quote unquote villain, because Leslie Nielsen was there because Cheers, because old Ted Danson was messing around with his trifling ass wife. You can't have that.
So it's his wife who's buried.
So Becky was his wife.
Yeah, Becky was Leslie Nielsen's wife.
Okay. Got it. Richard, his name was Richard.
So Richard.
Richard's wife.
So he's killing both of them.
Okay.
Because they fucked him pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. Clears. I didn't quite catch it when he walked in. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
It was still entertaining. So.
Oh yeah, that's like the worst way to die.
Yeah.
Buried up to your neck in sand and having the tide come wash over you.
Well.
Yeah, but he gave him a chance.
Yeah.
If you hold your breath for a long time, the water will eventually loosen it up to where you can get out. Yeah. It's not his fault that they're not. They didn't use proper breathing technique.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You're right.
So this one is another set that was built entirely in the studio. So when the Jeep drives around and you see that little like barn in the background, that's actually a matte painting too. And it looks totally real.
I wouldn't have guessed that at all.
No, I wouldn't.
They were on location.
Yeah, no, they were saying like people are like, where's that at? Like, what we should find that location. They're like, nope, it's a matte painting behind. We just drive on the beach, and then his whole house, Leslie Nielsen's house, is all a set that was built indoors. So
that whole beach was a map, or was
no? I mean, they're on a real beach, but behind them is a painting of. You know, the house and the skyline and everything like that.
Yeah. Okay.
At least I'm assuming that.
They did it like so perfectly to scale. I thought there was a mansion back there.
Yeah, no, it was for sure a map behind him.
I thought that was legit.
Whether the sand was inside or outside, they probably had the mat outside behind them. But then another thing that they had to do was they wouldn't let him. George Romero said how he thought this would just be an easy scene to shoot because you go out to the beach, you dig a hole, you put Ted Danson in it, and you cover him up, and then you wait for the tide to come in, and then film it, you know? And of course he would probably have like these safety standbys and everything, and but I guess they wouldn't let him do that. It was still too dangerous, and so they had to use some kind of wave machine that they're still on the beach on the shore, but they had to use some kind of machine they put out in the water that created their own waves so that they were in control of the waves coming in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he said what was supposed to be this easy scene in his mind turned out to be the hardest one of the whole production. So,
wow.
Yeah.
A bunch of diva ass actors and, and gangster insurance companies. I'm sure that's what it was. I'm sure it'd be a phone call insurance company like, no, unless you can create your own waves, Mr. Danson cannot get this. How dangerous is it really? I mean, people bury themselves at the beach all the time.
I mean, I personally think a person could get out of the sand if they were neck deep. I don't know. Maybe I haven't been buried deep enough to know that, but I don't know. I think I could get out.
There's the experiment right there.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll come out to Florida.
Y'all can set up the CCTV cameras and let Scotty bury you, and then
we'll see what happens. Yeah. And then if I can control my own waves, then I'll
there won't be any of that.
Did you notice that Ted Danson was really hairy when he's wearing that like robe when Leslie Nielsen first walks in, and his name was Harry too, so it fit his part really well. Of course,
Scotty notices Ted Danson's chest.
It was really hairy. You didn't see that? It was like a freaking like massive.
I was jealous of.
Yeah.
I can't. I can grow a beard. I got a huge beard, but I can't grow chest hair. I mean, I want like Sasquatch chest hair.
Dude, he was Sasquatch.
I want the beard. I want the Sasquatch chest hair, and I want to just walk around like in Fila windbreaker suits.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yep.
Just look straight up like a capo,
and like a gold chain or something.
Oh yeah, you got to get the gold chain's got to be buried.
Yeah, like freaking Scarface style, man.
Like when you pull it out, it pulls hair with it. You got to kind of like clean it off every once in a while.
That's the only way to do it.
I want chest hair. You have to shampoo and condition.
Yeah.
the leave-in conditioner type.
Yeah.
So
you have to leave it in for like
essential oils in it and stuff. Oh yeah.
Hey,
what's that sound?
Oh, my brain!
Oh my freaking ears are
just shit down my leg.
My ears are oozing with
foaming with blood.
Foaming blood.
Oh, I've had an embolism.
It is the horror
halftime. Time for the horror halftime. All right, so real quick, we do have a horror freak of the week winner from last week, and that is, I hope I don't butcher the name, but it's Ty Andreyko.
Ty Andreyko, yes.
Ty Andreyko. You won because you actually posted one of the only Dawn of the Dead memes. But we like it. And also, he just messaged me before this podcast. I haven't got back to you yet, so if you're listening to this, I'll get back to you. He lives in the Pittsburgh area, offering to take pictures of the mall and send them to us, and also grab a autograph, have Savini autograph something because they have a con coming up there that he's always at. So
awesome.
That would be awesome. Y'all got to forward him like some like nude headshots and get Savini to autograph those for
That's what we need.
Oh, Savini would do that in a heartbeat. I hope.
Oh, he would for sure. Y'all need to go and get like some glamour shots with like Speedos.
That's what we
need.
Like
hugging or splashing each other at the beach and see if Savini. Tom will sign him. I'm sure he will.
Well, if he gets something signed by Tom and then sends it to us, we'll make sure we use it as like a giveaway or something. So you guys keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that could be the next horror halftime challenge. Is somebody has to find Ted Danson, take him to the Monroeville Mall, bury him in sand by like the water fountain.
Yeah, by like the
that's doable.
The mall like fountain. Yeah,
where Ted's not busy right now.
No,
yeah. Well, that's where Roger was buried in Dawn of the Dead, so he'll be buried right by Roger.
Even though it's tiled over now, most of it. So.
Yeah, there's only a little patch of dirt there now.
So Ty and Draco, I'll message you, but you won. We'll send you some something for free. Cool.
Freak of the week, brother.
He sounds like the villain in Rocky V. It's a strong name. He sounds
Ty and Draco.
It does.
In Soviet Russia, we buried Ted Danson to his balls.
So we can still see his hairy chest.
Yes.
We need the hair for warmth. We need it for warmth. It gets very cold.
So this week we're on to Creepshow, and I don't know. I guess basically what I want is I want a stocky skeleton guy meme. I want if someone can come up with a stocky skeleton guy meme, I will reward you greatly.
Yeah, it could be any skeleton. If it was the one,
it has to be that one.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it has to be this.
It has to be Where's My Cake? Father's Day Dad skeleton. Okay, so I want stocky skeleton meme. I don't care what you write. You can even bonus points if you include Ed Harris in it.
Or him holding the cake of the lady's head.
There you go. But post on our page, facebook.com/cultclassichorror. And yeah, I'll check it out, and you could win some free stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe even something autographed by Tom Savini. We'll see about that.
Yeah, if you guys can get Ed Harris, we could probably work out a Tom Savini autograph for that.
Oh yeah. Come on, guys, get creative.
All right, that concludes the horror halftime.
Let's jump back into this bad boy.
Yeah. So I think that's all I had on the. That was all my behind the wave machine. That's all I had for that one. But I did like it.
It's crazy that you went to a beach and you had to get a wave machine.
Yeah, that's just stupid. But I did like at the end. I thought the gunshots to the head with the water coming out, that was badass.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
And again, it's the practical effects that make these movies so great.
Like sea
But
creature.
yeah, it would hit and it was like blue, green, and it would it was seawater.
Yeah.
But
seawater.
there was there was no delay. Like it hit the squib or whatever, and it just like was rushing, just like Earl Grey tea or whatever, right down.
Yeah, it was like Earl Grey tea.
That's basically what it was. Yep.
Sea creature zombies. I'm going to call them like sea creature zombies.
I feel like Leslie Nielsen in that character in that mansion would have Earl Grey tipped bullets.
Oh, for sure. I mean, of course, because you got to stay healthy. That's the one thing too. He always looks old, but that man's like in tip-top shape. I bet Leslie Nielsen could grapple with almost anybody.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He's a beast. Full head of hair.
I know.
I bet you he lived in the very end there when he was the one that got buried. When he says, "I can hold my breath for a long time."
Yeah, he lived.
He's definitely lived.
Yeah.
But you never know.
And that's what I kind of liked about it, because you had the Bedelia Where's My Cake, you had all the little one-liners from Stephen King and like the lunkhead and all that, and then you had just the physical, the character actor of like Leslie Nielsen with the faces and the I can hold my breath. I can hold my breath for a long time.
I don't know that I've seen him do anything serious besides this.
And he did it really well.
Yeah, he did. Really well.
He played the psychopath part. He played it down so well, because he was whispering at times, and he was really believable.
Yeah,
he came off so eerie. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So
I'm used to laughing at him now. I'm like, oh, geez, this is great. But he's great in both. That's why he's so versatile.
So that would bring us to the Crate short story, right?
Yeah, the Crate is next.
The Crate.
Just call me Billy. Everybody does.
Just call me Billy. Everybody does.
What
that
a bitch.
She's so
I
annoying.
didn't feel bad one bit. I didn't feel bad at all.
No.
I was like, when the hell is the monster going to pop out and get her? I'm like, is he like locked in the crate for good? And then all of a sudden it happens finally, but like finally she's dead.
I was starting to feel bad for the husband. I'm like, oh, it's not going to eat her. This really backfired on you, because now she's pissed.
Yeah. Henry! Get down here.
Yeah. So this one was actually written by Stephen King before the movie came out, or the screenplay was written. So this one, I think there was one other one. I don't know. This might have been the only one that was actually published before the movie came out, so they sort of used it, But yeah, I liked it though. It was good. So
I actually like the guy that plays Hal Holbrook. Well, the guy that plays Henry, Hal Holbrook. I loved how he had like the flashbacks of him like shooting Billy like right in the head and strangling her with a tie. I'm like, God, is she gonna die? And then obviously his wish comes true, and that happens, But it was pretty freaky.
So there's a part where it's getting towards the end where where Hal comes back, to clean things up and everything. And when he comes down there and he's like walking slowly, looking around the corner, and you hear this big, like the mop handle falls. You don't see it fall, but you hear it. It's really loud.
Mm-hmm. But it's silent.
It's well, the scene is silent. You
scene's
hear
silent,
the mop
yeah.
thing hit the ground.
That's all you hear, yeah.
And in an interview, Romero was saying how the audience reaction, the whole entire movie, that got the biggest jump was the mop handle falling in the background.
That whole short story to me was like the most tension.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to slink the padlock on. He's doing this and doing that, and the whole time, I remember watching this like on TNT or TBS or something when I was like, 10 or whatever. I can remember that one was the one to where I was just, it's the one where you're just screaming like, "Go! Don't! What are you doing? Stop that!
Yeah,
Run away! Just what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Hurry up! Lock!" And you're just God. Just do it.
I actually jumped a little bit when that mop handle dropped too. But,
I did too.
But I did notice every time the crate opened, the whole screen and room filled with like red halogen halogen lights.
Lighting instantly turned red.
Instantly, the whole place is red, which it gives you like the bloody red effect, and this crazy monster coming out of the crate. But it was just funny.
They were obviously going for that. There's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a cool effect though.
I thought it was really cool. But it was
I watched some behind the scenes footage of Savini creating the beast's head too, and that was pretty cool. All the stuff he does, but I did think that I don't know, it was pretty cool looking, I guess, but it almost reminded me of like Where the Wild Things Are or something, and so to me it was more of a friendly looking monster beast. I don't know if that makes any sense.
He looks like you could pet him.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
But I think there was a point in there, like with the monster, that to me maybe it was underwritten or it was an undertone that maybe the monster and Henry kind of had an agreement, because it never really lashed out at Henry.
No,
it never. You know what I mean? That's what I think that's why maybe it kind of looked a little gentle.
Yeah,
because I think it was like, look, we're going to 86 the janitor because I've been in here since like 1850.
Yeah,
and at 86th, the college student that wouldn't listen, Wilma got what she deserved, but it never really came for Henry. It didn't even try to break out of the box.
Yeah,
and, I wouldn't. It was almost like a wink, wink, nod, nod. Like, I got your back.
Yeah,
it was a mutual agreement. It was. Yeah, mutual agreement. In fact,
it was so funny that when she gets killed and then Henry's like, tell it to call you Billy.
Yeah.
Just tell him to call you Billy.
Yeah. And she had that glass of milk with her the whole time. She was not letting go of that.
Who brings a glass of milk in the car as you drive somewhere with you?
I want to know, like, when you watch that, she makes a glass of milk and then she pours brandy or cognac or something.
Yeah, it was. That's right.
In the milk?
Who the hell drinks that?
I missed that part.
Like, I was watching that and it's like, oh, I got like the gurgles already.
Oh,
that's not going to settle well.
No, that's not
pouring
good.
Straight liquor into milk, that's only going to make it spoil.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was wondering what that was. It was like brandy or like some kind of liqueur or whiskey even. Shit.
Oh, man. So, but yeah, that was a good one. That was probably one of, like I said, maybe my favorite one.
It was one of the longer ones too, if I can remember. That one was quite a to me it felt like it was a longer.
Yeah.
They dedicated more time to that particular one, but it had a great effect because 10 minutes into it you're wrapped. You're like, oh, I gotta keep watching. I need.
Yeah, it was.
Bedelia or the Father's Day, you kind of knew where it was going.
Yeah.
The Tide, you were really invested in. And in this one, I remember watching it the first time and just like what y'all said, like the broom handle hits and you jump because you're just locked onto the screen.
Yeah, you're locked on. And all the blood and stuff. And it was intense for sure. That's why the last one was kind of a letdown because even though Bugs infested bugs and
I mean, it
cockroaches
creeps me out a little bit.
It is creepy. It's definitely creepy just because that can happen at your house. I mean, not that many cockroaches, but it's like, it is creepy.
Well, let's get into the last one. I mean, they have these fuckers imported. They're like hissing cockroaches imported from, I totally forgot where, but somewhere.
Yeah, from another country.
Yeah. And apparently they couldn't get the correct permitting, so they were like temporary import. And so they had to account for each and every one of them and make sure they were all dead when they were done with them, I guess. And
that's back in the good old days, the early 80s, where you could kill a cockroach.
Yeah, now
right now, like when Michael Bay blows up 3 buildings, the ASPCA's been in there and they flushed out every cockroach and made sure that no indigenous wandering spider was injured.
Now they'd have to put a disclaimer at the end of the film. No cockroach was injured in this film.
Don't hurt these cockroaches.
So they literally had a couple barrels, like thousands of cockroaches, and Romero said it was so eerie because they'd come in and they would dump a barrel like in the middle of the room, and then within like a minute you couldn't see you couldn't see a cockroach. That's how fucking... And this room was sealed. That's how sneaky and how many places they can find to hide. And so they would literally like go over to the phone and they would take the cover off the phone and there would be like cockroaches in the form of the phone, you know?
Oh, God.
Yeah. It was just...
Wow.
Holy shit, you know? I'd be like, get me the fuck out of here.
That guy got what was coming to him, though. He was like a, conceited asshole, and definitely I knew he was going to die. I knew the cockroaches were somehow going to kill him.
And the actor, his name's E.G. something. I forgot the last name, but I guess apparently he was a trooper, and they were actually crawling on him and all over him when he's standing, anyways. And dealt with that inside the room there, and then. Of course, they made a mold and everything when the cockroaches come out of him when he's dead. But Romero also talked about it took him a few takes because the cockroaches were trying to come out of the mouth all at once in this huge just bunch, and they were getting stuck, and so they had to take a couple takes to where they all could actually get out. And then they were like, let's have some coming out the chest too, and they weren't sure how they would break out, and so Savini simply put toilet paper over the chest opening and then makeup over the toilet paper, and then there's some blood squirting from on the inside so that it softened the toilet paper a little bit, and then the roaches come out and they're covered in blood, and it was... Wow. It was crazy. Yeah.
Give Savini anything to do and he'll make it happen no matter what.
You could tell, okay, Tom, we're gonna fill this guy up with whatever, hissing cockroaches, and we're going to do this, we need that. And he'll say, okay, I need $12, and I need some toilet paper, some Cairo syrup, and some dye, and some paper mache, and we'll make it work. Don't worry about it.
I know, he's the man. And of course he gets his cameo in this too, as the guy...
the garbage man.
The guy taking out the trash.
Garbage man number 2.
Garbage man number 2.
Not a little bit of a downgrade from leader of the biker gang in Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, the heck.
that was also a great little part of the movie that I enjoyed was the whole epilogue and the end and everything that had to do with the kid and his dad, and he's reading the comic book, and the garbage men pull the trash out, and you see there's one mail-in order missing for a voodoo doll. And
that was
Tom
cool.
Atkins, who's done a lot of Romero stuff, and he's done a lot of John Carpenter stuff. Who plays the dad. Mm-hmm. And I just thought that was cool. And then the kid in the movie is Joe Hill, which is Stephen King's son.
Oh, yeah,
really?
I did read that, yeah. Yep.
He changed his name later on, but his name is Joe Hill, and he actually writes horror comic books, very similar to the old Tales of the Crypt, and very similar to like this movie. And he also did a book called Horns that Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, the movie, right? I remember seeing.
Yeah. But yeah, Joe Hill is Stephen King's son.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see the movie yet, but I know of the movie Horns with Daniel Radcliffe. So
it's on Netflix, and it's pretty good. He has more of a fantasy spin. He writes a lot of stuff like The Dark Towers and you know, he does some horror, but
Yeah.
you know, he takes after his dad with the fantasy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hey, Scotty, you know, he's so sneaky that he snuck out. So, yeah, he had to go so me and Rob can finish this baby off.
Okay, then. Well, I mean, besides some of the little inside stuff right there, and it being Joe Hill and
Yeah.
everything else, I mean, I give it like 4 out of 5 stars. I absolutely love that movie.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. I mean, like I said, I mean, of course I know of it, but it was surprising that I hadn't watched it all the way through. And yeah, it was a refresher. And I sort of like the format. Like I said, I like VHS. I like Tales from the Dark Side. I sort of like the format of the different stories within one movie. It keeps you going. It keeps you tentative. It keeps you not bored, you know. So.
Oh, no, for sure. I wish they would do. I mean, I know they have done some.
Yeah.
Similar to it with VHS and everything, but I really wouldn't mind seeing some more of the Tales of the Crypt and the, you know, there is some gore, there is some, you know, there's some good subtext and stuff, but I think the best part about the cult classic horrors, some of them, especially like this one, and a lot of Romero stuff, is they don't take themselves seriously.
Yeah.
You know, if anybody came up yelling and screaming saying this movie influenced or whatever, you could laugh it off because you know that's all just a load. These movies, they're just fun. They're just good fun movies.
Yeah, and I mean, like you were saying before, we want to get that documentary because you know they just had the time of their lives filming this shit. You know, it's like they probably buried Ted Danson and then they probably fucked with him and left him there for like 30 minutes, you know?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Ted was like, seriously, we're gonna get this in like 2 or 3 takes, and you're getting me out. Oh yeah, sure, yeah, no problem. And I'm sure Romero, as soon as he was in there, was like, we're gonna break for lunch.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back. Or, no, I didn't really like that last take. We're gonna do it again. Let's take it up all the way from the top. Let's do it again.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But yeah, and
that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, no, it does. And like I said, I didn't even realize the names that were a part of the film. So it was definitely cool. It's cool that people like that have worked with George Romero. It's cool that Tom Savini's along for the ride on like almost every cult classic horror film. It's just insane.
I didn't even, because I went back and rewatched this yesterday, but I was rewatching it. I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I bet Tom Savini's a part of this, just because I'm trying to remember the effects and the story, and then boom, sure enough, it's Tom Savini.
Yeah.
And then Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Tom Savini. He's just everywhere. And he's got a stamp on these movies to where you just know he's there.
Yeah. Aside from the fact that he has a cameo in almost all of them.
Oh yeah, he's like Steven in that way. He tries to be in there, but he didn't pop up to the very end of this one.
Yeah.
And if you watch enough of his stuff, you just know.
Yeah.
This is a Tom Savini movie. There's just no doubt.
And you gotta wonder, like these days, it's sort of a lost art form. All the shit he was doing, I mean,
it's just, if you you're saying, like they did the background with Matt and all that stuff. Today, a movie with this budget at $8 million, they would have done a green screen, and it would have been so blatantly obvious that you would be poking fun at it instead of like we are today, being like, "Whoa, are you serious? That was a practical effect."
Yeah, it looked real.
But with his, like you said, like the Earl Grey tea squibs, he was the one that said, let's not do blood.
Yeah.
These guys are going to be leaking like seawater. And it's just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got to wonder if guys like Tom Savini are shaking their heads nowadays going, they've taken the fun out of it, or, the art form's gone. I think, I don't want to say it's totally gone, because I know that even locally around here, because we're sort of in the film industry, and there's a lot of independents who still go through that stuff, molding and everything, and the special effects. But yeah, on a general consensus, it's not there anymore.
Well, there's a really good documentary out called Nightmare Factory, and it has Romero and Carpenter, and it has Savini, and it has all of these guys in it that grew up with practical effects, and it's all about the practical effects. And it's they were working on one movie, and you could just see that a practical effect had failed. They're like, okay, hold on, time out. Let's go back and let's redo this. And the director was like, no, we don't have time. We'll just CGI. And that's what they do. It's like they're just, oh, it failed. Okay, don't worry about it. We'll just go back, and it really shows in the finished quality of so many movies.
Yeah. No, it's true. So, well, yeah, let's wrap this baby up. I mean, like you said, good movie. I thought it was a good movie. I believe we will definitely be moving on to Day of the Dead next, if we're going in order here. So, and yeah, of course, Rob, I mean, thanks for joining us as always. I say us, Scotty. Scotty slipped.
Having us.
Yeah, no problem, man. Of course, Scotty slipped out like the sneaky little bastard he is. So I don't even know where he has to be. I forgot where he even has to be, but he said that when we started, so whatever. But yeah, man. Like I said, I don't know if you still have any other podcasts going. You want to give them anything direct?
I don't have any podcasts going right now. I'm working on another one. We've been really busy with we have a design company. We do logos and websites and everything.
Yeah.
So we've been really busy with that lately. It's Oddfish Design. You could Google it if anybody out there needs anything like that. But other than that, no, I've been waiting to get back on this show. Y'all been out in Cabo, and
I know, man.
Hustling back kilos of Mexican Bam Bam or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, doing. Plenty of it. We're stocked now. Cool, man. Well, yeah, we'll get you back on again here soon. And yeah, any other information, you guys listening, just check us out at cultclassichorror.com. I've said this before, but now it's for sure. We're gonna open our horror store next week, I believe, where we'll have a lot of just trinkets and merchandise and t-shirts and stuff for you guys to pick up. So you'll definitely have to check that out. All you gotta do is go to cultclassichorror.com and click on the horror store, and you can check that out. But yeah, thanks for joining again, Rob.
Oh, no problem. I like I said, I appreciate you having me on again. I look forward to talking to y'all again soon and reminiscing over some other great B-rated old school. I can't remember. Were there any boobs in this one?
No, I was just gonna say that. No boobs in this one. So we need to get the boobs back on track.
Yeah, see, we were spoiled with the Friday the 13th marathons.
Oh, totally spoiled. So, well, yeah, cool. We'll get you back on then here soon. And you guys out there, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.